Good morning, all. Good morning. Attention to the front, please. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to our September 19, 2024 special magistrate hearing for the Building Division. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. You okay? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth that today? Oh, can you raise your hand though, just in case you don't? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Yes. Thank you. You all may be seated. At this time, please silence all of your devices. I also ask if you have any conversations that you need to have, please step outside with them because everything picks up on the mic and we can't hear what's going on up here. Marie, Kay, everything okay in the back? All right. Our first case, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, is on page 25. Property address 3343 Northeast 40th Street. Owner Christopher T. Chen. Case number BE 24030006. This case was ordered to reappear. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 9/19/24. One section not complied at $50. Is the respondent here? Which one? 3343. Is there anyone? Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not complied. There is a permit issue, and there are inspections in process. I will request 63 days extensions and stop the fines until the dock is repaired. I will let the respondent to speak.
Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Christopher Chen.
Okay, Mr. Chen, are you in agreement with a 63-day extension?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. The damaged dock was removed. The seawall was replaced and repaired. Seawall cap was just poured at the end of Labor Day weekend.
Good.
So, as you can see here from the...
So you're making progress?
Yeah, it's coming along.
Okay.
The dock is the damaged dock was removed. We're just waiting for them to start they've actually started installation of a new dock.
Okay, 63 days, we'll give you an extension for, and we'll suspend the fines during that time. Are you requesting an order to reappear, or you're okay?
No, it's not necessary.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Our next case is on page 13, Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Property address 441 Isle of Palms Drive. Case number BE 2302-0157. Owner Andrew Fuchsa Jr., Heather M. Green Fuchsa. This case was first heard on 9/21/23 to comply by 11/23/23. One section complied at $50. Total fines $7,550. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,259.31.
Good morning. Alexander Boris, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. This property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code Section 105.1, work without permit. The case was complied on April 23rd, 2024. The violation was for a perimeter retaining wall installed without a permit, and the respondent is here and wishes to speak.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well.
Please state your name for the record.
My name's Wyndham Geyer. I represent Andrew Fuchsa, who's unfortunately out of town today.
Okay. All right. Are you in agreement with the reduction to city costs of $1,259.31?
We are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next two cases are on page 8. Inspector Andrew Gebbia. Property address 209 Northeast 23rd, 209 Northeast 23rd Ave. Case number BE 24070019. Owner, Las Olas 7 Isles LLC. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Violation under FBC 2023-105.3.2.1 expired permit. Permit PM-160-50056 SFR, new CVS 3-story, 6-bed, 8-bath, 3-car garage. This case was opened on 7/2/2024. Final notice was mailed on 7/2/2024. Special magistrate notice was mailed on 7/2/24. The permit has been issued a revision on 9/5/2024. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 42 days to comply or $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Gabriel Ormachea.
Are you in agreement with bringing the property into compliance within the next 42 days?
I'm in agreement of bringing the property to compliance, but we are requesting a longer time to bring it into compliance.
Okay, what is it he has to do? If we have the permit, what is it?
The permit is revolving around his certificate of occupancy, which is the next case.
Okay,
He's occupying the house without a CO, without a certificate of occupancy, which is due to this permit being expired and other circumstances, as I was told before.
So yeah, there's a precedent circumstance on the property that everything's been finalized. Building, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, everything's been finalized on with the city. The issue that we came across is we did the work as per plans. Now, when we called for, this is a landscaping problem. When we called an inspector to come out and approve it, she did not approve our approved set of plans, and we installed landscaping as per the approved set of plans. And that's where it stalled. A CO we did try to get a CO with the city, establishing a TCO actually, saying this is what's going on, but they didn't grant us a TCO. So actually, we did what we were supposed to do, and we're still going to try to resolve this, but it's not, we did everything as per approved plans.
I'm
sorry, Your Honor. So you've been unable to resolve the problem for the last 8 years?
No, well, the construction finished right around 2020, 2021. Yeah, right around there.
So for 3 years, you haven't been able to resolve the issue?
We tried. We tried with the city, and actually now we're here to try to resolve this to get to the bottom of it, because we did everything as what we were supposed to. It's an administrative problem. It was built as per plans.
Okay, I have a question. I thought you said that they filed for the permits, so.
They
this portion
submitted a revision for the permit.
Okay, so this permit that was left to expire, it's still outstanding?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we already submitted an extension of that permit and even paid for it. It still says expired on the seller. So again, we can't do anything to resolve this. We're trying our good faith to resolve this, and we just can't.
Okay, specifically the permit issue, what does he have to do to comply with the permit issue?
The final inspections have to be made on the premises, and his revision of plans has to be submitted and approved.
Again, final inspections were made. They have been passed. It's on record. It's landscaping that's halting this CO. We did the landscaping as per approved plans.
Well, that's what you're saying, but obviously it wasn't because they didn't finalize it, and you've had 3 years
No.
to try to speak to
Okay.
a building official. We've got 3 of them. You've not spoken to any assistant building official? Not spoken to the building official? Did you make an appointment to speak to a supervisor in the last 3 years?
I mean, at the time, yeah. I mean, because we try to get the CO. So whoever we spoke to at that time, we just weren't able to get a hold of any to resolve this.
Okay.
Your Honor, it'd be the city's position that that's sufficient time to get it resolved?
Yeah. I'm not here to decide whether you planted the landscaping according to your plan. That's up to the inspector that comes to do the final. So if he is not satisfied that it is according to plan, you either have to make it according to plan or you have to submit revised plans. And I'm going to give you 42 days to do that on this case. And I guess we have another one. Sir,
No,
yes.
the issue, actually,
No, you need to
my name
speak
is
up.
my name is Pablo Ormachea. I'm part of the company that owns the property.
Okay,
The issue is a little more complicated than just not being built according to plans. The inspector does not agree with what the plans were approved for. That's where the issue comes into play. Because we went to the city, we submitted the plans, and they said, "Well, guys, you got to put an oak tree here and all that stuff." We did all of that. It was built according to plans. The inspector comes out and says, "Guys, you can't put those trees there." But it's per plans.
Like,
And said, "Guys, what are we going to handle this?"
excuse me, just like the magistrate said, we're not here to discuss what the circumstances were as far as the tree. What we have here in front of us is an expired permit. Just like she mentioned, it's been 3 years. There's no reason why this could not have been resolved in 3 years. But if you'd like, you could reach out to me. I'll link a meeting with the building official, with landscape department, so we can get to the bottom of it. This way we could bring back better information for the magistrate. But there's no reason why a structure is being occupied for 3 years, and it's not until you were notified by us about the expired permit is this now coming to light.
okay. All right, 42 days or $50 a day thereafter. Let's move on to the next one.
That was changed.
Case number BE 2407-0024, property address 209 Northeast 23rd Ave, owner La Sola 7 Isles LLC. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and the address is read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-111.1.1, occupied without certificate of occupation. This case was opened on 7/2/24, final notice was mailed on 7/2/24, and the special magistrate notice was sent on 7/2/24. With the assistance of Inspector Alex Alvarez, we arrived at the property to verify that there was an occupation of this property. There were signs of occupation outside: boat, jet ski, paddle boards, outdoor furniture. We rang the buzzer, and the woman came out. She identified herself as Pia. She was the owner of the house. She stated she was living there with her husband. We informed Pia that she had an expired building permit and there was no certificate of occupancy. We recommend that the premises is vacated immediately to comply, or $100 a day thereafter.
Well, the issue is the same, hasn't changed. It's regarding to the landscape that it's out there that's not been approved. So that's basically what it is. So once that landscape gets resolved, everything will just happen. Everything else, all the other permits are closed.
Okay.
That's incorrect. Without a landscape final, you would not have received a building final. So it's false to say.
I didn't say that I have the CO, sir.
Well, it was mentioned that all the other finals
All
were
right,
approved.
sir,
correct.
please don't speak over the staff. I can only listen to one person at a time.
It was mentioned in an earlier comment that all the finals had been approved, and that's incorrect. The building final would not have been approved without the landscape final, as it's a prerequisite of such.
Go ahead.
I'm referring that all the other technical subs have been approved.
Okay.
So that means that to occupy the property, it's safe to do so. That's the reason why I mentioned it, sir.
Well, sir,
So-
actually, that's incorrect, because the law is, and the building code says, that unless you have a certificate of occupancy and you're occupying with an expired building permit and without a CO, it's presumed unsafe. That's actually what the law says. So you can't sit here and say to us that it's safe to occupy, because the law says otherwise.
Okay, and what is the city asking for me to do?
Vacate the premises immediately, and if not, $100 a day fine thereafter.
Mrs. Flynn, this is a personal home. So again, the good faith effort that was put in during the construction did occur. So again, all of the subs have been taken care of. It's not like we're doing anything that we're not supposed to. We had a disagreement with the landscaper when, in our position, is very strong. We did as we were supposed to do up until this point. We spoke. Once we got notified of this, because our position never changed. Why should we change our position when we did as we were approved to do? We reached out to Inspector Andrew immediately as soon as we got that letter. We went to the city, extended it. We paid another extension fee, which was in the, it was over $10,000, and this is a personal home. So we're stuck in the middle of this where we don't see it fair or fit to have such a aggressive stance against us, and that's where we stand.
So, Your Honor, the inspectors advised they were notified on July 2nd initially, and again, 3 years. And have you tried to go in and make an appointment with the landscaping supervisor, with an assistant building official, like Joe P?
Well, we personally went into the city to try to speak with the landscapers during the process. Again, there was nothing that was resolved. We're here to actually bring it up to you guys to see what we can do. You guys can help us out to resolve this.
This is not the forum for that. And again, waiting 3 years, there's clearly, and again, this is an $8 million property. So one would think that you would have the sophistication to know that if the landscape supervisor did not provide the appropriate relief, you speak to a supervisor. The city has 3 assistant building officials, 1 building official, there's a zoning administrator. You can't just throw up your hands over 3 years and occupy a property without a certificate of occupancy. That's illegal.
How do you assess, once you get a foolproof set of plans approved, you build it as per plans, and then
So
the inspector
again,
shows.
I'm going to tell you what I've already said. I can't decide. I'm not an inspector. I don't decide whether it was built according to plans. I don't decide.
No, the issue is not.
The issue is that for 3 years you have lived in a home without a certificate of occupancy and made no effort to resolve the problem with the city. Now, you were aware you didn't get a certificate of occupancy. Why'd you move in there?
Because we believe that it's safe to use the house. And we had a discrepancy between the inspector of the plans that approved our set of plans and the inspector at the site.
Well, you're going to have to resolve that
difference. We agree. We already paid $10,000 to renew the set of plans. That's already been done in the last 2-3 days when we got this notice of we need to get a CO. We already paid $10,000 to do so. So now we're requesting to give us a little time to get this fixed. I know this is not.
What, if any, effect does what he's saying about the paying $10,000 for an extension?
It has nothing to do with occupying a house without a CO.
Yeah.
While there are 2 violations, one is for the expired permit. If we verify that the permit has been expired, that case will be closed. The elephant in the room here is the fact that you're occupying the structure without a CO. For 3 years. I'm not even sure if it's even on the tax roll yet. That might be another issue.
Okay, you're going to have to vacate the premises until this is resolved, and or you face a fine of $100 a day. Okay, next case.
Our next case, Inspector Linda Holloway on page 5.
By the
Property
way,
address
the renewal was
1408
paid today.
Northeast 5th Court. Case number BE 2406-0052. Owner, Ajay Mehta Livable Trust, Ajay Mehta Trustee. Notice posted at the property on 8/22/24. Posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Good morning, everyone. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Building Department, presenting case BE 24060052, property address 1408 Northeast 5th Court. The property was inspected on July 10th, 2024, and the following violation was observed as depicted in the photos. 9-1D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to driveway installation without permits, BLD-RPAV-2210007 being issued. The permit remains as the permit has not yet been issued. The city is requesting 91 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Sir, please state your name.
Ajay Mehta.
Okay, Mr. Mehta, are you in agreement to get that permit squared away within the next 91 days?
Oh, sure.
Okay, all right, so please do it. If you run into a problem, make sure you contact the inspector, because after that, you'll face fines of $50 a day.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 14. Inspector Andrew Gebbia. It's a hearing to impose fines. Property address 4250 Galt Ocean Drive, 10E. Owner Craig L. Harreville. Case number BE 24060039. This case was ordered to reappear. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 8/1/24. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
14 on the bottom.
Building Inspector Andrew Gebbia, presented for the city, case and address is read. This property was cited for violation. Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address is read. This property was cited for violation under violations 9-259, unfit for human habitation, and 9-276A. The owner shall not occupy, permit another to occupy, or let another for occupancy any dwelling unit, hotel, or rooming that is not clean, sanitary, safe, and fit for human habitation. Violation 9-259, unfit for human habitation, has complied. The owner of the unit has not occupied Unit 10E. Violation 9-276A, the owner shall not occupy, permit to occupy, or let another for occupancy any dwelling unit or hotel rooming unit that is not clean, sanitary, safe, and fit for habitation, has not complied. The city is requesting for fines to be imposed. I'll allow the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Anthony Watkins. I'm serving as a proxy for Mr. Harreville. We would have been in compliance as per our last conversation. We had a clerk service, HVAC service, and a general contractor in line to take care of all those things. What happened was there was also an issue within Circuit Court from Galt Towers condominium. So we couldn't go forward until we took care of that case. We were on a Zoom. I was actually in his facility. He's in a rehab facility. And we were on Zoom. He was the last person on, and he was on the phone segment of the Zoom. The Judge Levinson, couldn't hear him and hung up. And we tried to call back, and we couldn't get on. I immediately filed a motion the same day, but the motion, I guess, was denied. So
how long ago was this?
This was on August 1st, was that particular date.
So what's happened since?
Right, but Galt Towers was issued a temporary injunctive relief to do everything that he was going to do. So now the Galt wanted to do all those things themselves. So he wasn't allowed to go in and take care of all those things. Galt is hiring their own contractors, which they're doing as we speak.
And what is their progress?
Your Honor, I believe we have people here from the building that can
Right.
maybe address that.
Right, you have to find out with them, but there was like a lot of moving parts with this. Like I said, he had all the people lined up. They gave all the estimates of things of that nature.
Okay, all right. You're from the building. Let me hear from you. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Carlos Botero. I'm the general manager of Gulf Towers Condominium. I represent the association, and I'm not here to whether agree or disagree what he's saying is correct, but what I can tell you is that, yes, indeed, there was a motion granted to the association giving temporary relief because of the condition of the unit affecting the neighborhood units, and there is quite a lot of work to be done in that unit.
I remember from the prior hearing.
Correct, but that motion never stopped Mr. Harville to take care of that issue. As a matter of fact, our attorney...
Okay, please, sir, let me hear one person at a time. I promise I'll let you have your say.
So the association counsel, Gerald Collins, actually contacted Mr. Harville to see what was his intention on getting the situation resolved with the unit. These condominiums associations are not in a point where they want to go ahead and clean all that up. And we just really wanted him...
So what was your injunctive relief for?
To clean the property, which is, the property is basically full of trash. There hasn't had any AC working probably it's months, if not years. It's completely infested with mold.
Sir, please.
It's completely infested with mold, and we had to actually cordon the doors so that smell and all that mold and everything that is happening in that unit didn't affect the hallways or the other units. So the association was granted relief to clean the property and restore it to a habitable condition. But of course, we didn't have an intention to do it. We just were hoping that that would trigger.
Why'd you ask for the injunction?
Because the owners that are living here, and I have an owner present here, have been living smelling trash for the past months, and they just got to the point that we're pushing the association to do something about it. So the association and their board, on their fiduciary responsibility, did what they, recommended to council, and it was advised by them. But we never stopped them from doing anything until this point. As a matter of fact, all that we've been able to do, because of course we got to follow permits for demolition, it was just take the trash out, which we also contacted Mr. Harville via council to remove his personal belongings to make sure that, that wasn't part of it. So.
Okay.
As Carlos mentioned, we were allowed to go there and give the estimate. In fact, we brought the clutter service and the mold remediation people in there to give an estimate. But we had to get permission through I guess there's a general manager of several of the buildings. We could not re-enter in order to have the workers come in because pending on the circuit court, which is through Judge Levinson, was granted a motion to give them temporary relief to take care of it. Because we have people who were lined up actually during our last meeting here. So it was like we couldn't enter to take care of the things because they were granted the temporary relief. And, if need be, we can go forward as we did before because we had those people, but we couldn't go into the unit.
Okay, it seems to me that this injunction has caused some confusion.
Absolutely.
How were you not permitted to go in there?
Well, in order to enter, as mentioned, that unit was not allowed to be occupied. We had a court date, and then they were given the temporary injunction in order to take care of all this. In fact, I have all the information here, but we had cleaning service that was ready to go in, and they allowed us to go in to give the estimate, but that was pending the particular court date. And since they were granted, in fact, I filed a motion for us to continue, but they
Okay, so what happened to the cleaning crew? Did you ask them if they could come in?
No, we couldn't go in pending the court case that was in circuit court.
Do you have a copy of the order with you? That doesn't look like an order, but I'll look at it.
You know, I'm reading this, and I'm going to let the city attorney have a chance to look it over. But it looks to me like you went to the court for an emergency injunction because the danger was imminent. You got your emergency injunction. This gentleman was enjoined from interfering with that injunction, and then you decided, well, we don't really mean it. They have to do it.
It may appear to be like that, but actually, Your Honor, I have made myself available to the unit owner many times. I met with the one contractor that they hired to deal with the mold remediation, took them to the unit, sat with them, and they say, oh, we cannot do mold remediation. We're not licensed for that. We can just take the trash out. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Do whatever you can do with the owner, whatever he engaged you to, and that's the last I heard from him.
What's the date of that?
August 1st.
Okay, so this injunction's been in place August 1st, and the only thing you've done is had the place clean, and this was such an emergency that you had to have this injunction, and you had to enjoin this guy from taking any action to interfere with that injunction. Can't you see how that creates confusion?
I completely understand. Unfortunately, I didn't write the condo declaration of what Florida statutes obligate board of directors to do with their responsibilities. But what we can tell you is that that's not the only thing we've done. That's the only physical portion of the property that has been treated, taking trash. We have filed for a permit for demolition, and during that process, due to the age of the building, they found asbestos. So we have not been able to complete mold remediation or remove the AC or the vents because of the condition, the asbestos, and waiting for a release from that.
Okay, so I guess my question to you is, are you now taking charge of the remediation, or do you want to give it back to the homeowner?
The association has a responsibility. We didn't see any intention from the owner to take action because he's saying so, but we reached to him, to his sister, to his family, put many things in writing to achieve that, so we have to be in this situation. But there is a health condition in the unit that is affecting the property.
But you have an injunction to take care of that.
I understand, and we will continue.
Sir, no more outbursts unless I call on you. You need to quit while you're ahead. If it's such a danger, why hasn't more been done? And are you prepared, to do what you asked the court to let you do.
Absolutely. We have hired a mold remediation company. Part of that process, because we like to do everything with the city, we filed for a permit for the demolition of the areas that cannot be remediated. During that process, asbestos had to be tested. Because there is an additional process to get clearance from asbestos, that's the reason why I have not been able to do more. Otherwise, probably the property will have been resolved by this time.
Okay, so it is the association's position that they want to enforce this injunction and do the remediation necessary and send him the bill. Is that your position?
Yes, that is correct.
So thank you, Your Honor. Yes, in reviewing this, it is clear that the defendant, the property owner, is enjoined, indeed, from taking any action to interfere with the actions of the condo association. So he now does not have the right to go in and make any repairs or remediation. It's the responsibility of the association, which is obviously what you asked for, which sets forth 7, different areas, which is pretty much all encompassing in this order. And then at the end of the day, the property owner is responsible for the cost of that to reimburse the association. But the property owner, in fact, does not have, as Your Honor said, the ability to go in and do anything anymore pursuant to the court order.
Okay, so thank you. Guide me then as to what the city's position needs to be. Do we close the case against the property owner? Do we give it a long extension and have these people back and see what progress we're making, or what?
As far as it is right now, our stance is for the fines to be imposed from the last special magistrate, which is July 7th. And as far as the property being cleaned up, the city would definitely assist in the permitting process, the unit, but we don't have any affiliation with any contractor going in there. As far as I know, there was an environmental assessment done on it, but as far as a contractor going in there, whether it was a contractor or not, I don't know that. So
this is sort of uncharted territory, obviously, Your Honor. I would suggest perhaps, if Your Honor wanted to consider, imposing fines up to the date of the court order, because obviously the property owner had the ability to make the proper remediation and address the violation from.
But did I grant a suspension the last time?
The fines for start on 8/1.
That's the date of the. Yeah, so I don't think I could do any fines, but here's my concern, okay?
Yes.
And this is not my jurisdiction. They go in there and fix it the way they want and send him a bill. Does that make your client happy?
He's not going to be happy.
No. So you guys got to work this out.
Right. He had, like I said, we had the HVAC, we had mold remediation, we had a clutter service, because it definitely had to be cleaned. I'm not saying that anything that Carlos said is incorrect, but we had all those professionals lined up, but we couldn't enter. In fact, when we would enter, we had to get permission from, I guess, the general manager of several buildings in order to enter the unit, in order to have it assessed.
Well, you can enter the unit. You're enjoined from doing so.
Right. We had to go through them, and then after that, it was, through the courts in order to enter, because he hasn't been able to occupy his unit since, I guess, June or July, around that time. But again, he had everyone lined up. It took a lot of work in order to get all these particular contractors, because the specialists, mold remediation, clutter services, cleaning, HVAC, all those things were lined up.
It sounds to me like you can't do any of that now.
Correct.
They have to do it. If you don't like the way they do it, you go back to circuit court, because I can't do anything about that. So,
okay.
I think this, Your Honor, it would be my opinion, you have to close, this case needs to be closed, because, as the clerk has pointed out, the fines were supposed to run on the date the court order was entered, and the property owner doesn't have the legal ability pursuant to the injunctive relief order to go and address the violation.
But if, I can't give you legal advice, you guys know, but this is the position you find yourself in, because they're going to do the repairs now and send him the bill.
Okay.
So make sure you keep an eye on that,
Okay.
everyone.
Will it be now the fine situation, just to be that we're on the same page?
No fines. I'm
All right.
closing the case.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
Why, no,
We're
because
just closing the case. The
on 7/18, I didn't know that this injunction would be granted, so. Do I need to vacate that?
No, we don't, we wouldn't vacate it. The violations existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
closing it.
I
The violations
think
existed and one still
I think
exists.
the violation should stand just in case this happens again.
But right now, we do have fines on the case, so.
Well, I'm closing the file, and I'll vacate that portion of the order that is for fines, okay? Does that work for everybody?
Well, or should the comply by date is A1, then there would be no fines in case.
It's not complied, so it just needs, that part needs to be vacated. There's no fines because of the court order.
I think the city wants the finding of fact that the violation existed.
Well, and still exists. The
And
one component still exists.
So I think,
Yeah.
just,
You're right.
just get rid of the fines.
Okay.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Good luck.
Our next case is on page 1. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez presenting on behalf of Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Property address 417 Southeast 16th Street. Owner FLL 401 Investment LLC. Case number BE 240-60065. Notice posted at the property on 7/23/24. Posted at 1 East Route Boulevard 9524.
Building Inspector Martinez for Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, presenting case BE 2406065.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Inspector. Can we please lower our voices? There's a lot of chatter going on, and we can't hear him. Thank you.
Property located at 417 Southeast 16th Street. This case was opened on June 12, 2024. The property was cited for the following violations. FBC 2023 111.1. This single-family home has been converted into a triplex without obtaining a certificate of occupancy. The following notice was mailed to the property owner on 6/18/2024. Notice of hearing was posted on property on 7/23/2024. The city is requiring 63 days to comply or 50 days per day thereafter in order to reappear.
Good morning. My name is Tom Runyon. I'm the attorney for FLL 401 Investment.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
So my client's position is we are going to need more than 60 days, but we're willing to accept that. Before anything can be done to the property, the roof has to be replaced because there's leaks, and that permit is in, and it's being taken care of. My client has been in communication with the code officer, Del Rio, about this. He took the property without any knowledge of the non-conforming structure, so he's willing to make the changes. However, I do know that we probably will need more than 60, but if that's all the magistrate's willing to grant today.
City's position on more time?
Well, I actually have a question. Is this property being illegally occupied by three different families?
It's not occupied at all.
At all?
No.
Okay.
No objection.
Okay. All right. 91 days, is that sufficient?
Yes.
Okay. 91.
Your Honor, and if we could just add and request that Your Honor make a finding that the illegal triplex not be occupied until such time as there is a certificate of occupancy.
We don't disagree.
No occupancy.
Sorry, can we do it, if we're going to do more time, 119 days, so it goes to the next hearing?
Okay.
What's the next hearing date?
119. It's
January 16th.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's my next hearing date.
Okay.
That way it will be on my docket.
Okay.
All right, no
Thank you.
problem.
Thank
you. Pardon me? You want to reappear, right? Yes. Sir, I'm also ordering you to reappear at that time, so the January 6th, you have an order to reappear on January 16th, just so we're clear.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sir, do you have another case with us? I don't. Okay, just making sure. Our next case is on page 22. Chief Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 2715 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner, Embassy Tower 2, Inc., case number BE 2306-0195. This case was first heard on 8/17/23 to comply by 2/13/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines, $18,200. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative cost of $1,275.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city. Case and others as read. Case is complied. City is requesting administration cost of $1,275.
Okay, where's my property owner?
Is there anyone here for 2715 North Ocean Boulevard?
Embassy Towers?
Yep.
Did they tell you that they were leaving, Leo?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Okay, you want to just recall it?
Did someone sign in?
Yeah.
Let's just
Let's
recall
recall
it
that.
just in
Okay.
case they come back.
This case will be recalled. Page 19, is there anyone here for 1401 Northeast 4th Avenue? Okay. Chief Building Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1401 Northeast 4th Ave. Owner, Insight for the Blind, Inc., case number BE 2308-0194. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city. Case and others as read. The case is not complied. City is requesting to impose fines, and I'm gonna allow the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Matthew Corey. I'm the president of Insight for the Blind.
Okay, what's the problem here?
We had to switch our engineer and contractor after our first inspection, which was done last year. So in rehiring the new engineer and the new contractor, we had to re-inspect, and it's just taken longer than we want to. We're well into the permitting process currently. I was hoping to be able to come here today and tell you that we were fully in compliance by now, but we're not. So sorry, I'm so nervous.
It's okay, relax.
But we are working through it. We have a great contractor, Ryan C4. He's very communicative. The city's been very communicative. It's just taking more time than.
How much time do you think you need?
As soon as the permits, I've been told as soon as the permits are approved, we're ready to go on the repairs. They'll be there, and it will only take a few days. So anything you can do, 30 days, 60 days, we'll be doing it.
City's position?
Your Honor, this is a building recertification case. We are mandated by board. I explained to him that we are not in the position to grant any extension at this time. I explained to him that, as soon as they get the permit and get the new report, submit it to the city, and then I comply the case, and they can apply for a lien amnesty.
Yeah, that may be your best bet because you've accumulated fines already. So in order to address those, and try to get a reduction on that, you're going to have to apply for amnesty.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to, okay, so the fines will begin to run, but I think that if you make that application, it'll be well received, if everything's done properly.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
We're working on it. That's why I'm here today. I just wanted to make sure that we're not sitting on our hands on this.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Our next case is on page 25. Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 2950 Southwest 17th Place. H&M Housing Land Development LLC, case number BE 2404-0001. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 9/19/24. One section not complied at $50. This is requesting an extension.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not complied. The city is asking for the fill to be removed to the height that the city approves to comply with this case. The city does not support any further extension and will schedule for a Massey for a hearing to impose fines.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Mark Brown, the attorney for H&M Housing Land Development.
Honey Levy, the owner of H&M.
Okay, what seems to be the problem?
We're here today asking for another extension. Previously, the corrective action issued on the final order was to get an architect, get an engineer, prepare plans to do corrective action. My clients have been doing everything they can to address all the issues. This was a property that was landlocked at first. When they obtained it, they've been dealing with all the permits and permit issues. At this time, they've been doing everything they can to comply, and it's just taking longer because of the permitting issues. And they have applied for the permits. Everything is going forward. So we're just asking for an extension to continue to be able to work together.
Okay, anything else from the city?
No further extension.
I just wanted to share how this complaint originated. This is a lot, I believe at some point it was a buildable, non-buildable lot, but that has nothing to do with the case. It was a lot that the lot was raised by adding 2 to 3 feet worth of fill, which was causing flooding to adjacent neighbors. Now, there's a history with that particular block where it had previously gotten flooding anyway. That's the owner's argument. Nonetheless, the complaint came in that the property in its current state has been raised where it's causing a detriment to the neighboring properties. So what we're requesting is that a permit be issued. I believe the problem she's running into as far as getting that permit issued is that the fact that it's a non-buildable lot, and that's part of the dilemma. They have been maintaining the property, I believe, but nonetheless, the lot has been raised 2 to 3 feet.
Okay.
And we have a letter from the engineer, my client can speak as well. The engineer, to get the permit, they are requiring the lot to be raised, and it's at the level where they believe it needs to be to deal with the issues of flooding and water.
There's not an issue with lots being raised, but you're required to maintain a swale so that the water from that lot doesn't go into the neighbor's property.
Sir, you're out of order. You can't speak from there. If you're going to speak, you have to come up here and introduce you and state your name, please, and your relation to the property.
My name is Michael Hill, owner and developer of the property. For a licensed general contractor for the state of Florida. For all the past months, we've been doing everything they asked for, which is the swell, which is keep the property level at the way it's always been, and it is that way. And as he mentioned, the neighbors' area for flooding, we have also video and picture of the neighbor actually pumping the water to our lot to eliminate the flood that is normal in that road. As yesterday, for example, was driving in Las Olas, we have no water yesterday, and there are places under a feet of water used by the rise of the sea. It's the same situation there. So there is no, our dirt in there doesn't create flood. Everything is done properly as we need to build in there. As that letter say by the engineer, we also require more there to comply with the elevation of the final floor.
The plans that submitted to the city will be required.
Please state your name for the record and speak into the microphone.
My name is Hani Levy, the owner. We submitted development engineering plans to the city that they would require to add more soil in order to comply and approve the development plans that we submitted to the city. I want to mention we haven't...
Did you submit a permit to do that?
Mm-hmm. We submit everything. Civil engineer, landscaping, architecture, everything is being submitted. And I wish I can press on the bottom and have everything approved and immediately, but the process is length, is a huge development process, which I also submitted as they require me, soil improvement, which I submitted also over 200 pages to the court to look at on everything and every single communication that has been done. I submitted to Diana in September, August 27 and 12:35 p.m. and she replied and confirmed that they received, because we haven't slept one day since this incident happened. We lost so many. It's tremendous amount of money that we lost. It's extremely hardship. Is our attorney in the case, in the big case, because we bought a land that undevelopment and we did not, there is no construction. It's just soil that we thought is allowed because there is no specific permit that you can apply just for soil. So when we submitted a plan, they told us we cannot submit a plan because the land is undeveloped. And then we filed a lawsuit against the person that sold that to us. And now we're in the process of getting the lawsuit done with our attorney. In the meantime, we contact the bank to purchase the next door neighbor lot to resolve this issue. And we did it in unbelievable amount of time because the bank approved it, thank God, within a month and a half. Then we was able to submit the plans to the city. We pay premium price for engineering to leave everything and deal with this, but normally we would have planned just so we can submit the plans and get this ball moving, not just for them, for us as well, because we suffer enough with this lot. It was something that we didn't know that is undevelopment. And there is no zero construction, the land is abandoned. It's just the soil that has gonna be required for us. As soon as the plan approved, next day machinery is ready to develop there. We just need the plan to be approved. There is no reason to fine us because we've been in contact with him, I think, like nobody else. We have several meetings with him. We have several meetings with Christopher Cooper at the city. We have with Bert, with everybody in the zoning department to develop something that will work if we bind the next door neighbor. This is a story that everybody knows, from the mayor office to the news. Everybody in Fort Lauderdale watching this case. So I think you can apply to that.
Your Honor, this is a case where she unfortunately purchased a property that was landlocked and deemed not buildable. In order for her to resolve that, she would have to purchase a neighboring property. That is out of our control.
Okay, it appears though that they have purchased a neighboring property.
We did. We purchased that.
And just the final order, corrective action, doesn't mention the soil. It mentions engagement service licensed architect and engineer to detail corrective actions and to apply for the permit and go forward with the permit. And that's what they're doing at this time. That's why we're asking for the extension here to.
Okay.
It should say apply and obtain a permit, isn't it? Isn't that correct?
It says
I
when
don't
the
know, I
plans
don't
are
have the
approved, the
order
permit
in
will be.
front of me.
It says when the plans are approved, the permit will be issued by the building department.
Okay.
And we're talking about not a simple permit like a go renovation permit. We're talking about whole development permit that will take, and when I apply, we own a company. My husband is a licensed contractor. He also carry all the
I
sub-license.
thought you have applied for the permit.
We did. We have a permit number BLD GEN 2408-0778. And everything is uploaded to the system. Now it's back and forth with the engineering of the city to our engineer. Correct this, add that. It's just part of the process that we have to go through until it will be completely approved and reasonable by the engineer. But there's nothing from here that I can do. It's just a soil. There is nothing else going on. They ask us to fence the property with a silk fence, which we did. They ask us to grave it, which we did. They ask us to put covering, which we did, to put grass on it. So everything is maintained accordingly to the record, because we are usually on the other side. We're helping our neighbors in community to correct those violations, because my husband is a general contract, is a plumber, is a certified mechanical, any license that you want, he have. We don't like this. We don't want to be in this side. We want to help other people. We want to develop in the city, bring revenue to the city, put people in housing. That's not our thing, you know?
What is the request for the extension? How many days?
A simple permit for a sewer cup, for example, take me about a month to approve. We're talking about approving landscaping, approving mechanical, plumbing, all this. In order to be approved, I think Mike Malone will agree that is need at least 3 to 4 months to approve that permit.
Well, sewer cap would be for the demolition of
Correct.
of the
I'm just
neighboring
saying
property,
just
but
a
this has
simple-
nothing to do with
Correct.
that.
By a simple permit like that, what usually when we develop take us 6 months to approve. So I would assume with me communicating with Mike and everybody at the city that I know to help me go to this, maybe it will take us 4 months to approve this. And the next day, as soon as I get a permit, we're ready to build. We're
Look,
ready to develop.
We can't support the length of the time it takes for a permit to be issued. I mean, that can go back and forth for longer than 10 months. I could certainly support 90 days, and we could revisit it then.
Correct,
But we,
yeah, I
we
agree.
encourage you, and what I'll do is I'm going to reach out to the plan reviewers to see
That will be
if
wonderful.
this is even an approvable project. Because right now you're saying that, you know, you submitted everything we wanted, but again, we don't know. I don't know the other side of it, whether it's something that's even feasible. So.
Yeah, I would like to get it a 90 days extension
All right,
and
I'm going to give
revisit.
you 91 days and an order to reappear. Oh, we don't have a hearing that day. 63 or 119.
119 is fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because then you'll be back on my docket.
And I'm sure with the help of the city, I can get it approved at that time, you know.
It's January 16th. Okay?
Thank you so
All
much
right.
for the understanding.
Good luck
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for everything.
Your Honor, at this time, the city is requesting a 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to resume our special magistrate hearing. Our next case is on page 25. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2032 Sunrise Key Boulevard. Owner Med Irrevocable Trust, Federico Martinez, trustee. Case number BE 23120171. This case was first heard on 6/20/24 to comply by 9/19/24. One section not complied at $50.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector from the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not comply, but it have a permit already issued, the building permit. They are missing a permit to be issued, but I will request 63 days extension. I will let the respondent to speak.
Good morning, Michael Marino for the homeowner. Yes, that should be sufficient time but our understanding was that I know the building permit was approved, but that the contractor was showing me the electrical ones. I thought we had all the permits approved. The only thing that was left was to pay the fees to have them issued.
Yes, for that one it's not approved. They need to pay.
The electrical is not approved yet. Okay, okay. But 63 days should be sufficient time. I think we're going to have it all resolved by then. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 18. Chief Leonardo Martinez, property address 301 North Birch Road. Owner, Birch Point Condo Association, case number BE 23070165. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chief Leonardo Martinez, representing the city. The case is no comply. I'm going to let the respondent to speak.
Good morning. Lauren Schwartzfeld on behalf of the owner. Yes, so we have the engineer here. They have submitted the permit. Is that correct?
The report, the 40-year report. Oh, yeah. There was a previous 40-year report or recertification done by another engineer, and we were hired after then because they were not happy with the work from previous engineers. So I submitted the report, the recertification report, where minor repairs needed to be done, and the plans are ready to be submitted to the city. I just completed it August 28th. So we're gonna submit the plans for the repairs to be done, and we requested in a letter in August 15, 90 days extension to process those plans and select a contractor and start with the repair work. And we were, I think, denied, or we were called for this hearing. So that's what I know so far about the project.
Can you just state your name for the record, please?
I'm sorry. Jose Compress, structural engineer.
Your Honor, by BORA's rules, in order for the city to grant an extension, it has to be on that letter requesting the extension, an issue permit number, and the reason why the extension is required. So at this time, the city doesn't support any extension. We go by rules from BORA, and we just, after the report is completed with no repairs required, they can apply for a lien amnesty.
Your Honor, like we just stated, a new engineer did have to come in. The plans were just finished. They are being submitted to the city. We just need some additional time to ensure that that gets into the city and that the work can be done. The association is working diligently to ensure that they are compliant. And like I said, we're just looking for an extension today. Even if Your Honor wants to grant a short extension and have us come back, we're happy to do that.
Right. Before we get a permit, we need to submit the plans.
Right, so.
Before we get construction permits, we need to submit permit plans to be followed.
Right, so did you understand what the chief said? So once the permit has been approved, if you submit a signed and sealed letter saying that an extension is needed and the reason for the extension and that there's no safety issue, then we can grant additional time. The problem is that post-Surfside, all of the higher authorities having jurisdiction, like Broward County, are auditing all the cities. So the deadlines and the extensions we really have to stick to, and that structure, because again, we're audited.
Right.
For those
Typically,
types of
cities
things.
require a safe letter from an engineer saying that this is safe, nothing will happen. I'm happy to do that, and I think
After
that
the permit's been approved. That's
sorry, I come
that's
from
the
Miami.
requirement.
I come from Miami. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Fort Lauderdale.
That's okay.
But first, the city wants to make sure somebody certifies that the building is safe.
Correct.
Right. So in my letter, August 15, I said the building is safe, but grant me 90 days for me to complete the plans, submit to the city, get it approved, and select the contractor to start the repair work. But I guarantee you, the repairs needed there are more cosmetical in nature, so there is no risk. I understand Surfside and all that, the law what it is, but I'm a professional engineer. It's my responsibility. I know you have your own as well. So
Well, no,
that's
and
why
I
we
agree. I mean,
requested
Miami-Dade may be a little different than Broward County,
Yes,
because this
I
is
know.
not the city. This is
I know.
Broward County that has the mandates to all the city that we have to answer to them in
course.
terms of our processes. So
it's a law for the state anyway as well.
There's two criteria that apply here. One is the letter stating that the building is safe to occupy, which you're able to satisfy. Unfortunately, the second criteria is that a permit be obtained in order for us to consider an extension. So it's not that we're not seeing your cooperation. It's unfortunate that we have to follow the strict Broward County policy. That
Plans
is-
are ready to be submitted tomorrow if necessary. So, but
The sooner you could get it done, the better off, and then they'll be granted 180 days. Is that-
Your Honor, after the fines are imposed, the only that they can do is to speed the process of taking care of the repairs, so he can provide us with a clean report. There is no other extension here. We're here to impose fines, and we are mandated by BORA. If they had an issue permit and they request extension, we can grant it. This is not an issue of the building being safe now or no. Without that permit issue, we are not agree on no extension. That's what BORA states in the 0505.
Has there been any extensions on this yet? Is this the initial?
It was first heard on
January 18th.
January 18th to comply by July 16th.
gave me an extension.
So that was their 180-day extension.
So they've already received 180, because the board, just so you know, board did extend the 90 to 180, but he's already gone beyond that.
Yeah, so I don't have any authority, I think, under Broward County rules to give you a further extension. So we got to get that reporting really quickly.
And then we can proceed with mitigating the fines once the process is.
Yes, yeah.
It's the permit that I believe is what's the holdup. The permit needs to be issued for us to consider the extension.
Okay, so
And I'll be glad to have that expedited.
apply for the permit, get the permit. The fines will continue to run, but then, go through the amnesty process.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honor.
Our next case is on page 4. Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 408 Northeast 6th Street. Owner, SC Solmar LLC, case number BE 2407-0066. Notice posted at the property on 8/2/24. Posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Thank you. Inspector Linda Holloway, City of Fort Lauderdale Building Division, presenting case BE 24070066, property address 408 Northeast 6th Street. The property was inspected on July 10th, 2024, and the following violations were observed as depicted in the photos. 9-305B, the landscape has tree grates that are lifted and or damaged and pose a safety hazard. Violation 9-280D, there are pavers at this location that are missing, lifted, and or damaged and also pose a safety hazard. 25-56C, the sidewalk at the subject location is in disrepair. There are uneven areas of the sidewalk that have lifted and pose a safety hazard. On August 8th, 2024, myself and the city urban forester, Laura Tooley, met with the property management, Grier, with Great Star Management and the contractor, Eric Harborough, with DMI Paving and Seal Coating to discuss the violations and compliance. This violation remains, the violation remains, and the city is requesting 63 days or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Dulac Garia with Somar on 6.
Okay, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Yes, we're in full agreement.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 13, Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 408 Northeast 6th Street, 744S, owner S.E. Solmar LLC, case number BE 24020085. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 8/22/24. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,350, which continues to accrue.
Alexander Labores, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280D. All parts and areas subject to deterioration shall be properly maintained and suitably protected from the elements. There are areas where the exterior wall stucco is delaminating. The respondent is here and wishes to speak.
Yes, Dulac Garius, Omar 6. So we did hire an engineer to make all the temporary repairs that was required. All the information was submitted to the building inspector as far as the completion of those temporary repairs. And we were just asking for just about the length of what was previously stated on the, I guess, the violation of having it complete by March of next year, which would be about around 6 months. So I guess that'll give us right around the time that we need to complete the additional full repairs that's needed.
Yeah, so what happened, Your Honor, is we received a report from an engineer indicating the long-term repairs that need to happen. Engineer also recommended in the meantime, because that's going to require a permit, bidding process, etc., recommended some temporary repairs to mitigate the water intrusion into the building. We received yesterday a signed seal letter that the temporary repairs have been complete. So going back to his initial report, the engineer is recommending that some temporary measures have been taken as per the engineer's recommendation. However, the engineer also recommends removing and replacing the entire stucco cladding system and other components in the next 1 to 2 years. The report was dated March 27. So at this time, we will support an extension of 180 days to get their permits, make their repairs, and complete the permit and get a final letter of completion from your engineer.
Okay, 182 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Okay, thank you.
Our next case, Inspector Preston Mark on page 7, property address 1620 Northwest 7th Street, case number BE 24020156, owner Roberto Marisol, Notice posted at the property on 7/30/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Good morning.
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 Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023 105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: the construction of an additional room at the back of the home without a permit. The case was opened 2/23/24. Inspection report mailed 2/26/24. Final notice mailed 4/1/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 6/18/24. I visited property to investigate a complaint for work being done without a permit. During my investigation, I met with the homeowner, Roberta, who gave me access to the property. During my inspection, I observed workers building an addition at the rear of the home, which included the complete construction of a addition, including roofing, windows, doors, framing, drywall, plumbing, electrical, etc. I requested to see the permits, but they did not have any. As a result, I issued a stop work order and posted it to the property. Also attempted to follow up with the owner subsequently to assist him with getting the permits. Our record showed, as of today, there are no permits submitted, permit applications submitted for this work. The respondent is here to address the magistrate.
Roberto Mariso. I haven't because the engineer, the architect is making the paper, the plan right now, and it's supposed to be ready by next week on the 25th. And I was wondering if I can get 90 to 120 days to get the permits and stuff like that to get it ready and get everything where it's supposed to be.
The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 91 days, I believe, to come in compliance, or a fine of $100 per day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our next case is on page 2. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 3300 Northeast 37th Street, case number BE 2404-0009. Owner, Guy Florent. Notice posted at the property on 7/12/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I received an email regarding this property for without a certificate of occupancy. The property was cited for building occupied without certificates of occupancy under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 111.1.1. The case was opened in April 2nd, 2024. Inspection reports was mailed on April 4th, 2024. Final notice was mailed on May 7, 2024. Notice of hearing was mailed on July 12, 2024. I have several contacts with the property owner and the lawyer for this property. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant to the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter and mandatory reappearance. I will let the respondent to speak.
Yes, Peter Snyder on behalf of the property owner, Guy Florent. Yes, we talked with the inspector, and we're in favor of doing that, and we're going to try to be in compliance. What's the
63 days, and you'll reappear on my docket on November 21st.
November 21st? docket, and what's the, right here? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
As far as I know.
Is the structure occupied?
Unless they move me
Right,
again.
exactly.
And
Is the
did-
structure occupied?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can't support an extension on a structure that's occupied without a CO.
What's left to get the CO?
There are several inspections.
The permits are open and active?
There are permits open and other ones not. They need to
What
reopen.
what is the delay?
Well, I think the delay is that it's an owner-builder, and I think he misunderstood what, the inspection process.
And he didn't know that he couldn't occupy a structure without a CO? How long has the property been occupied?
That I don't know.
A long time.
Yeah.
Well, is the owner here?
Yes. Yeah.
The owner doesn't know how long he's been occupying it?
Sir, state your name for the record.
Here.
My name is Guy Fruit.
And how long have you lived in the house?
They're owner-builder permits?
1 year ago.
Oh.
See,
And you're a general contractor, sir?
Yes,
no, he's not. No.
not a licensed contractor, builder owner.
He's an owner-builder.
Yeah, I know what an owner-builder is.
Yeah,
but
he's
you-
not a licensed general.
Nonetheless, we can't support an extension with a property that's occupied. If you want the fines to stop, he'll need to vacate the property, otherwise the fines will run
Well,
at,
this is the new case. This
I'm
is
sorry?
This is a new case.
no, none. No, we can't support it.
So the corrective action we would ask for, Your Honor, is consistent with the other case we've heard today, which is the property can't be occupied until such time as a CO is obtained, or $100 a day.
All right.
So that it's either or, correct?
No, what they're telling me is that without the CO, they can't support an extension. So what the inspector said before about the 63 days
Right.
can't.
Okay. So what is the order now?
The order is that he can't occupy the dwelling until he gets the CO.
And is there a fine going at this point?
Pardon me?
If he vacates, is there still a fine? See, that's what I'm unclear on.
So we're asking, Your Honor, for $100. So, counsel, what we're asking, the city's requesting a $100 a day fine. What'll happen is this case would have to come back and be scheduled for a Massey to actually impose the fine. That would be at a subsequent hearing. If the property owner is found to still live there, to occupy it without a CO. If they're not occupying it, then there wouldn't be any fines accruing, and we wouldn't schedule it for a Massey to impose those fines. And if once the CO is obtained, issued, thank you, is issued, then the case will be closed.
Okay. So we still have the hearing on November 21st?
No, we would not.
Okay, so there's no further hearing. He just has to close out the permits, get his CO. He's got
Right.
to.
Now, there could potentially be a second
Yeah,
hearing.
but it's not it's not scheduled.
Correct,
this.
yes, correct. The client would get
Okay.
notice of that.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Okay. And is there an order that's issued?
Yeah, it'll come in the mail.
Okay. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 10. Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 1421 Northwest 2nd Ave, case number BE 2405-0095. Owner, Trinity Devlin Revocable Trust, Lara K. Devlin, trustee. Notice posted at the property on 8/22/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 9524.
Good morning.
Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a horizontal wood fence. This case was opened on 5/16/24. The inspection report was mailed on 5/16/24. The final notice was mailed on 6/18/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 7/19/2024. I arrived at the property on 5/6/2024. I observed a new horizontal wood fence constructed across the front of the house and down the north and south sides of the property with an entry gate and a gate to the backyard from the driveway. I checked the records and there was no permit issued or applied for. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to comply or $50 a day thereafter.
Good morning, Michael Devlin. Yes, I have a document here from my engineer that he's taken over the job and all that. I didn't actually build an illegal fence. The fence was existing for 25 years. I replaced the rotten slat, so I wasn't aware that you had to have a permit for that. But in any case, if I was able to have found the original survey, I could have saved a bunch of money. But the city's records were wrecked, you know, and we're going back 25 years on a foreclosure, and we can't find our survey, so we got to start from scratch, and August is going to take care of it.
Okay, wonderful. 63 days or $50 a day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 2. Senior Inspector Jose Sadagusti. Property address 831 Northeast 5th Ave. Owner 450 Northeast 9th. Owner LLC in care of Aimco Investment Company LLC. Case number BE 24020069. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/24. Posted at 1 East Route Boulevard 9524. Is there a respondent here for 831 Northeast 5th Avenue? Someone signed in. Okay. Jose, we're not going to listen to this case right now. Courtney. Oh, is this your case? 831 Northeast 5th Avenue? Okay.
I apologize, I'm appearing on behalf of a friend because I was always going to be here. I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay. Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city presenting the case I've read, I received the case from an email regarding construction work without permit for the parking spaces restriped. The property was cited for work without permit under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1. The case was opened on February 9, 2024. Inspection report was mailed on February 14, 2024. Final notice was mailed on May 16, 2024. Notice of hearing was mailed on June 18, 2024. Building permit is awaiting client reply since September 18, 2024. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Good morning, Your Honor. On behalf of the property owner, we would appreciate the 63 days. Not going to resist the temptation to debate whether the violation exists. There are 4 companion cases which may come to Your Honor on a different agenda. So I just in a nutshell, these are 2 surface parking lots just south of Sears. They've existed. When there was a request to go get business taxes, it became complicated. Only because they had one business tax, but the city recent policy is to go by folio, and there are 5 folios. And then business tax could not sign off unless it was a legal parking lot. And the city, in looking at its records over the last 50 years, couldn't figure out. So the corrective action is these restriping permits. So I may be back before you on different folios. But, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have another case with us?
I do.
Okay.
I have 1201 Southwest
Okay.
17th.
Our next case is also, it's on page 16, property address 1201 Southwest 17th Street, case number BE 2205-0094. 1 second, trying to get there. Owner, Paul and Marcy Weinberg. Did I say the case number? Yes. This case was first heard on 8/18/22 to comply by 11/17/22. Two sections complied at $100. Total accrued fines, $94,800. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,914.63. There are 3 extensions noted.
No, really, no? Yes, the city is requesting administrative fees of $1,914.63.
Courtney Crush on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Weinberg. We'd appreciate your honor's consideration of staff's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 18, Chief Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 520 Orton Avenue, owner Garden View Apartments, Inc., case number BE 2307-0188. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not... Okay, sorry. I have to wait for the chief. Okay, our next case is on page 2, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 3901 Southwest 13th Court, owner Lawrence Smith, case number BE 2403-0147. Notice posted at the property on 7/24/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, representing the case as read, I received the case from email regarding the roof partially collapsed in this property. The property was cited for become unsafe, on which have been substantially damaged under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 111.111. The case was opened on March 25th, 2024. Inspection report was mailed on March 26, 2024. Final notice was mailed on May 31st, 2024. Notice of hearing was mailed on July 2024. 2024. There is a permit issue for demolition since September 6, 2024. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists to grant the property owner 60 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent speak.
Good morning. My name is Robin Kirby. I'm the daughter of Lawrence Smith, property owner, working with him on the permitting process, which we recently had both permits issued. This is 2 properties, a north and a south, and we're making very good progress. Yeah, we would be good with that. We're like nearing the end. Everything is ready to go for the demo. We just need a little bit more time, and we've got 4 inspections scheduled for tomorrow. So we're moving along, yeah. We're about finished.
Your Honor, it's a demo case. We normally don't order fines for demolition case. It's 63 days.
They're doing the demo.
For this 116.1.1, we never asked for a fine amount.
Okay, all right. My mistake then, 63 days.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Our next case, I'm going to recall the case on page 18, property address 520 Orton Avenue, Chief Leonardo Martinez.
page, Your Honor? 18.
Good morning, Chief Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. The case is not in compliance. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Good morning. My name is Jordan Ford with MG Property Management. We're property management for Garden View Apartments, and we're requesting an extension to be in compliance.
Okay, well, what's been happening since January of '24?
Okay, so the association has engaged with G. Batista Engineering and Construction for drawings to follow up with the contractor to follow up with the permits. We received the drawings yesterday, so now we're able to move forward with bidding with contractors to then go ahead and file for that permit. We're requesting a 180-day extension. The reason being, we'd have to bid with the contractors, and the association may need to coordinate an assessment to then engage with the contractors to file the permit.
Your Honor, unfortunately, this is a building recertification. We are mandated by BORA. If there is no an issue permit and a letter from the engineer of record requesting the extension of why, with an issue permit on it, the city doesn't support no extension.
Okay, so what does he have to do to bring the property?
Now he needs to submit a new report.
Okay. All right. I'm going to deny the extension, but in order to resolve this, you're going to have to submit another report.
So we do have a question, though. So we provided the city with 2 letters from the engineer requesting the extension. So what was required in that extension letter?
But Batista knows, and he knows clearly that if there is no an issue permit on those letters, we cannot support no extension. Unfortunately, we are mandated by BORA, and in order for the city to allow an extension, it needs to be an issue permit on that letter, signed and sealed by the engineer of record, and specifying why he is requesting that extension. And that wasn't provided, unfortunately.
So the engineer's report was insufficient in order for...
What's missing is what's missing here is the permit. So we have the report, we're just missing the permit.
Okay. Understood. Okay, and when that's done, we can file the lien amnesty.
Correct, once you're in compliance. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Our next case is also Chief Martinez. On page 22, property address 2419 East Commercial Boulevard, case number BE 23070029, owner, Heronkill LLC. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
Chief Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. Case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent to speak.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Bailey. I'm the property manager. I've been charged with bringing the building into compliance. I brought my engineer, Mr. August. We have permits we have pending to be approved. Recently, he's been going with revisions back and forth for the construction of a staircase. As of the other day, the last piece they needed was an asbestos certificate that the staircase has no asbestos. It's a steel staircase. We hired the person yesterday to do the inspection, and they're in touch with. We also have some other pending issues there with structural repairs that we're going to need an extension on because of the process of getting approval to do the work. This is Mr. August, my engineer.
August Pujol, professional engineer, state of Florida. We have been commissioned to solve the problems. We need an extension, 90 days.
Your Honor, this is a building recertification again. It's the same situation. Unfortunately, we are mandated by BORA. If they don't have an issue permit, we cannot support an extension.
I have an issue permit for electrical.
You should have submitted a letter and requesting the extension with an issue permit, and you would get it in that area, on the electrical part. But what about the structural part?
He's been waiting. We've been waiting. It's not issued yet. The bottom line.
Yeah, that's the problem right there.
Not if it was no fault of ours or yours. It's just the process.
What you need to do now at this moment, what you need to do at this moment is try to push to resolve whatever review or whatever correction you have, answer it right away, get the permit issued, complete the repairs, and then he can provide us a clean report with no repairs required. So you after that can apply for a lien amnesty. Try to go through the process as fast as you can. If you need help, I mean, contact us and we're gonna help you to expedite the permit.
We need help.
Okay.
I need help.
He-
They apply for an extension once they get the permit?
No, after the fines are imposed, no. He just need to speed through the process and get the new report so they can comply the case, and then they can apply for a lien amnesty.
Are the fines contested to this court, or we have to go to a different court?
No. After the engineer submit the new report, I comply the case, and then you can apply for a lien amnesty, which to reduce all the fines.
Yeah, right now, the fines are still running.
Yeah, so try.
We went past the date that you were given an extension.
How much are the fines per day?
$100, and now they are on 6,400.
6,400.
Yeah,
And when did they start?
I have no that. I don't have that.
64 days ago.
I-
640 days.
I'm sorry.
Supposed to comply by September,
July
July
16th.
16th, it looks like.
Just give me a call. I don't have a car, but I can give you my number.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
If you'd be so kind, thank you.
not a problem.
We're here to help. We're not here to. I want to get this building perfect.
Yeah, give
He's
it.
the only man that can help us.
She's gonna give you
All right,
my
thank you
card.
so much. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is also on page 23, Chief Leonardo Martinez. It's on page 23, Chief Leonardo Martinez. Property address 5900 North Andrews Ave. Owner CFC Offices LLC in care of Vision Properties. Case number BE 2307-0230. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city, case analysis as read. This case is not comply. I already spoke to the representative, and this is most likely the same issue, that they don't have an issue permit. So I'm gonna let the representative to speak.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I have problems here.
As I explained, we did submit for the permit application on August 14th, and as a matter of fact, as I was sitting here, I received an email that the city responded with they want some plumbing, they need some plumbing repairs as well, so they sent me the permit app so I can sign it. I apologize for the delay on this. We're very sorry. It was a transition of ownership and the GCs and all that delayed the process, but at the same time, we're doing everything possible, all the steps required from us to get this compliant and to get everything up and running. Excel Caulking, which is the GC that we hired for this project, is getting ready to mobilize once the permit is approved. So we're just requesting to see if we could please have some, I know he said no in all due respect, but if we could please have some sort of extension. And he did explain about the lien amnesty, that once the permit is issued and all reports are submitted.
City doesn't support an extension. Without an issue permit, we cannot grant support an extension.
This has been going on since January 18th was the first time it was heard, so I think no further extensions are in order.
Okay. And then I'll email you the information that you requested in reference to the permit, but now we have the plumbing permit that we have to submit as well.
No, whatever correction the plumbing department is requesting, you gotta go through the permitting process, which is another department. What you can right away let me know is when you have the new report with no repairs required from the engineer. At that moment, I will comply the case, and then you can apply for the lien amnesty.
I understand, but we can't start the work without the permit. So
No.
he had asked me to email to see the permit could be expedited.
Yeah,
somehow.
we can help you.
Yeah.
I mean, we can give you the person that can help you to expedite the permit.
Of course.
As now, as I heard you to say that you have a correction requested by the plumbing.
I don't know too much details. I saw it on the
Okay,
on the
just
phone.
try to respond that as soon as you can,
We will.
so that can help you to expedite the process. I mean, we can give you the tools to how to go through the process faster, but it's up to you that you provide whatever they requested and the correction.
Understood.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 16, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2314 East Sunrise Boulevard, Zone 2, case number BE 2306-0204, owner Keystone Florida Property Hold in care of Burdine's Tax Department. This case was ordered to reappear. This case was first heard on 8/17/23 to comply by 10/19/23, one section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,900, which continues to accrue. There are 3 extensions noted.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not compliant. I've been in contact with Mr. Mark Truba from the Gallerias at Fort Lauderdale and Mr. Thomas Stevens from Macy's for this case. I will let the respondent to speak.
Tom Stevens with Macy's. The repairs that are necessary to be done in this area are nearby the Florida Power and Light vault for the building. We have letters on file that state that the building is safe to occupy in the meantime. We now are in the process of working with our engineers where they're trying to develop a plan as to what repairs are necessary to be made to correct the situation. There were no documents or drawings available for the underground for that particular site. So we had to do all the exploratory work, which has taken a great deal of time. Right now, we're still in trying to determine the exact fix that needs to be made. And we are working with Florida Power and Light to work on a temporary vault or to relocate the electrical service for the building while the repairs will be made once it's determined what they are. That's where we stand today.
And what are you asking me for?
The city. To me?
This is going to take time. This is going to take a lot more time, I think.
It's already been over a year, Your Honor.
The city will request 62 days extension, stop the fines, and mandatory reappearance. And in 62 days, we will see which is the situation. And
Yeah, this has taken way too long.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to grant this extension, but I want you to remind me it's the last one.
I appreciate that. And hopefully we will at least be underway in the repairs by that time.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next case is also on page 16. Property address 610 Northeast 14th Place. Owner Jakesha Wright. Case number BE 2303-0079. This case was first heard on 7/20/23 to comply by 9/21/23. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $13,300, which continues to accrue.
Yeah, sorry. Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not complied. The customer have an approval for the variance already. For that, the permit will be issued soon. For that, the city doesn't oppose 62 days extension and stop the fines. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Yes, I'm Jukisha Wright, the owner.
All right. Are you in agreement with the 63-day extension?
Yes, I need time to, my contractor abandoned the job, so I needed to get a owner-operator affidavit, so I did that. I'm also I also enlisted a new subcontractor for the plumbing permit, so they're in the process of submitting that, so just trying to get it done.
All right, 63 days, and I'll
Okay.
suspend the fines during that time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 12, Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 413 Southwest 3rd Ave, owner Water Taxi 18 LLC, case number BE 24050184. This case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 8/15/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,400, which continues to accrue.
Good afternoon again, Your Honor. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. The property remains out of compliance. The city is not requesting an extension of time, but I have a representative for the company here to speak on behalf of the property.
Good morning. My name is Tyler Flanzer.
Why is this taking so long?
Well, the structural inspector was on site per the city's request in July. We provided the structural inspection report to the city shortly thereafter in the beginning of August. It was reviewed by Inspector Holloway and Assistant Building Official Joe Pascarillo, and it was determined that repairs are in fact necessary. In the time, we were requesting proposals from qualified structural engineers who would be able to prepare the plans and coordinate with the city to clearly define what the permit requirements would be so that we can execute the right scope of work and receive our permit as expeditiously as possible.
Okay, and so what are you requesting a further extension?
Yes, for the fees to be stopped and an extension for the permitting process. We did speak with Michael Rinkus, the zoning plan reviewer, and there may be Broward County and Army Corps of Engineer permit approvals required as well, so it may be significant timelines prior to city permit issuance as well.
Okay, city's recommendation?
We'll grant a 35-day extension,
For permit submission or permit issuance?
issuance.
That's
Is
not
that
gonna-
enough time?
That's not going to happen. So I would suggest, Your Honor, 119 days with a mandatory reappearance.
Yes.
119 days, and then you will reappear on my January 16th docket.
Yes, ma'am. And are we in agreement to stop the fines temporarily and submit for permit?
Yes, I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Okay, so we do not have a specific requirement just for the submission, but just so long as we have issued, do we also have to have the?
No, you need to be in compliance.
Within 119 days?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case, excuse me, is on page 3. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 2617 North Ocean Boulevard, case number BE 24020053. Owner Golem H. Usman. Notice posted at the property on 7/12/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 9/5/24. Yeah.
Alexander Abores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This is one of 3 properties adjacent to each other that were cited. This particular property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1. Work without permit, including but not limited to exterior wall covering replaced at second floor southeast corner of the building, electrical conduits for lighting at southeast side of the buildings, and windows replaced. The case was
Do we have pictures? 2617 North Ocean Boulevard.
The case was opened on February 7, 2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner February 7, 2024. Final notice mailed March 15, 2024. A record shows that permit application for after the fact window and door replacement was submitted and status is awaiting client reply. This permit application does not reflect all the violation. Additional permits are required. For example, alteration permit for exterior wall covering and electrical sub permit for the electrical conduits. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for the final order to be recorded. The respondent is here and wishes to speak.
Turn your mic on.
Is it on?
There you go.
Okay. Sorry, Katie Bushy, property manager. I've actually been speaking with him the whole time. I've been the one who's submitting all the permits.
Are you in agreement with the 63 days?
Yes. So I actually started these permits on 3/26, and it's been taking this long. I've submitted, gone back and forth. We've already gotten one of these because we have 3 addresses. One of them have been approved, and the other 2 have just been in limbo. And I've been calling and.
So we'll give you 63 days. If you run into a problem, make sure you continue to keep in touch with.
Oh yes, I definitely.
You ran into a problem with the window permit?
Yes, so I was back and forth with them, and then they approved the one building, and then for this one, then they told us.
Well, we're right now we're discussing 2617.
Yes, so
specifically. So that's one permit application that you've submitted, not 3 for this building, right?
I called it in, or I called about it, and they just said that I have to wait. So it's been sitting there since 3/26. I paid all the fines. It's not waiting on me. It's waiting on them.
So you haven't had any comments from the reviewers?
Not yet.
For this particular, okay, so we will look into that.
Okay.
But in addition, I would like to use this opportunity to remind you that it's not only windows and doors, it's also an alteration permit is required for the replacement of the wall covering on the building.
Okay.
And also electrical sub permits are required as stated on the inspection report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our next case is also on page 3, property address 2621 North Ocean Boulevard, case number BE 24020055, owner Ghulam H. Usman, case number BE 2, I just said the case number, right? Okay. Notice posted at the property on 7/12/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Alexander Alvarez, building inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Again, this is one of 3 properties adjacent to each other that were cited. This particular property was cited for violation of FPC 2023, section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to railings to stairs on the south side of the building, new windows and doors. Case was opened on February 7, 2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner February 14, 2024. Final notice mailed March 15, 2024. A record show, again, that permit for the windows and door was applied and issued. However, this particular permit application does not address all the violation, and an additional permit is required for the railings to the stair on the south side of the building replacement. City is requesting for the magistrate to find a violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance by obtaining the remaining required permits, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
2625 North Ocean Boulevard, case number BE 24020056, owner Ghulam Usman. Notice posted at the property on 7/12/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Alexander Labores, building inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Again, this is one of 3 properties adjacent to each other that were cited. This particular property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to railings replaced on the north side of the building and windows and doors. The case was opened February 7, 2024. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner February 14, 2024. Final notice mailed March 15, 2024. Record again shows permit application submitted for after the fact windows and doors. The permit, again, this permit application does not address all the violation and additional permits are required. Additional permit required is railing to these stairs on the north side of the building. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. The city is also requesting final order to be recorded.
Okay. State your name again for the record.
Katie Bushy, property manager.
Okay, you're in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next 2 cases are on page 20. Chief Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1401 Northwest 62nd Street. Owner, Fort Lauderdale Crown Center, Inc., case number BE 23070077. This case was first heard on 1/18/24, to comply by 7/16/24. One section complied at $100. Total fine, $65,100. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
Chief Inspector Leo Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. The case is complied. The city is just requesting administration cost of $1,275. I'm going to let the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Karen Everett.
Okay, are you in agreement with the reduction to city costs?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
The bottom of page 20, property address 1475 West Cypress Creek Road. Owner, Fort Lauderdale Crown Center, Inc., case number BE 23070074. This case was first heard on 1/18/24, to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
This is 1475 West Cypress, correct?
Yep.
Okay, this case is complied.
Okay.
City is requesting the fines to be reduced to $1,275.
Okay. Are you in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case is on page 5. Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr., property address 2889 Northeast 27th Street, case number BE 24060205. Owner, Charles Betrano. Notice posted at the property on 7/26/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 9524.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. presenting on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. This case came as a complaint from Community Enhancement on June 22nd, 2024. My initial inspection after it was transferred over was done on July 2nd, 2024, and the following violations were found. 18-11B, the swimming pool located at this unoccupied property has stagnant water, trash, and debris. The building does not have the required utility services, and safeguards have not been taken to prevent human beings or animals from falling into or having access to the pool per code ordinance. The pool in this condition presents a health and safety issue for the community in that it may become a breeding ground for mosquitoes and is a public nuisance. Violation 8-91C. There is a mooring structure in disrepair at the rear of this property. In this condition, it is found to be unsafe and in an unsatisfactory condition. Inspection report was mailed out on July 2nd, 2024. A reinspection was conducted on July 15th, 2024. The violations remained, and it was scheduled for this special magistrate hearing. It was posted for the hearing July 26, 2024. Pre-hearing inspection was done on 9/18/2024. The violations remain. I have been in contact with ownership and the contractor who's present here in regards to the property. At this time, the city is requesting 10 days for violation 18-11B or a fine of $100 a day thereafter, and for violation 891C, 42 days or $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
My name is Matthew Lyons.
Okay, Mr. Lyons, are you in agreement with the city's recommendation of 10 days to bring the pool into compliance and 42 days for the mooring structure?
42 days is fine for the mooring structure. I would like to humbly request 30 days for the pool.
He can comply it by emptying it, can't he?
Yes, I've been over it with both the ownership and the contractor, you know, whether they treat the water or empty it or cover it. They could do all of those things, but, you know, here we are from July 2nd that it was cited, and, you know, we're in September now, and it hasn't been done. So I'm kind of strict on the 10 days, but that's up to your discretion.
The emptying the pool with king tide right now, it's an older pool, so you'd have to actually, you know, breach the shell of the pool in order to allow the groundwater to come up. If you empty the pool, it'll pop the pool. So that's sort of not good for the pool itself. I'm the general contractor that's doing the house remodeling that we've got permits for and all that. The owner's had some financial difficulty, so he hasn't been able to do the site work as he wanted to. He does have the budget to finish up the home, which I've been doing.
So why can't you put dunks in it or cover it in 10 days?
We
Because
could
it's
do-
a safety hazard.
We
like
could
that.
do, well, it does have, we have the borders or fencing up, wood fencing up and stuff. There's no access to. What we're doing now is looking into getting the pool back and running again. And that's why I would need more than 10 days to do it. I could accommodate it in 30 is all I'm asking, you know, so. Yeah, I can put, you know, mosquito dunks in the pool, no problem, you know. It's just, you know, we could cover it, but it's literally covering it during the same process that we're going to be, you know, correcting the pool, and or we just cover it, you know, so.
What about the dock issue?
The dock issue we can handle, that's getting scheduled next
The
week.
dock they have a contract that they submitted to me for the dock work. They're going to be submitting the permits and everything
He's
to get
agreed
it
to the
demoed.
42 days.
They're fine with that.
Yeah,
And
it's just removal of the dock is what it is. We're not replacing the dock, we're just removing it.
It's the pool.
Yeah, the pool. And,
Well, and as
I
the
mean,
inspector stated, it's been that way since
Yeah.
July.
And
So-
I've recommended, you know, they can put dunks, they can shock the water. I explained they can shock the water and make it clear, take the debris out of it.
But even with shocking the water, you can't, in order to shock the water, you have to circulate the water, and all the equipment is in disrepair. You can't just pour shock in the water, it won't, you've got to circulate it in order to.
But Matt, what would it take to get a new pump? I mean,
That's what it is. I mean, we need to get a new pump and get into.
I mean, how long is it going to take you to do that?
Well, to drain the pool, clean the pool, you know, we've got to pressure wash the pool, got to, you know, diamond bright the pool, we've got to get new equipment for it. I mean, all these things in 10 days. That's why I'm just asking for, you know,
Well,
we
but-
finally have gotten to the
But
point
if you get a pool pump and shock it,
That'll
it'll
last
be in
it.
compliance.
Right. That's taken into account that all the supply lines and all that are adequate. You know, I mean, this thing's been sitting this way for some time. So, and again, you know, from my perspective, I want to get it corrected as soon as anybody else, for sure. I mean,
Has the owner committed to go into contract with you? Because I understand
Yes.
the pool is
Yeah,
not
that-
in your contract, but the
That's
owner has
correct.
committed?
The pool, yes, that's correct. And they are at this point, because I've said to them, if I'm going to request this amount of time, then I need to get it done in that amount of time. And then, you know, I've got no skin in the game, but, you know, if they contracted me to take care of the pool, 10 days isn't going to be sufficient for me to do so. I'm just being honest.
So
30
have they
days, I can-
contracted with you?
they've told me that they want me to do the pool. Do I have an actual contract with them? No. But they have.
I see they're
but I have,
located in Beverly Hills.
yeah, and I have, you know, ongoing relations with them because of the housework.
Okay. We'd like to stick to the 10 days, Your Honor. It's a safety issue, and it's been around since July, noted since July.
Okay. I think that it can be accomplished in 10 days, and so I'm going to, you know, at least getting the pool shocked and you know, if you run into a problem that you can't hook up a new pump, then, you know, you can contact the inspector and request a further extension. But, you know, I try to treat these things really seriously because of the rise in mosquito-borne illnesses, et cetera. So I'm kind of holding your guy to the feet to the fire because of that. So something's got to be done within the 10 days. But if you run into a problem that the pump's not working because of something else, you contact the inspector and you can request another extension. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, at this time, this concludes all of our respondents. Going back to page 1, new business, Chief Leonardo Martinez, property address 3309 Southwest 2nd Ave, owner Olam Fort Lauderdale 1 LLC, case number BE 23090208. Notice posted at the property on 7/24/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard 9524.
Building Inspector Chief Leo Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been submitted. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Welcome.
At the bottom of page 1, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, presented on behalf of Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 1441 Southwest 32nd Street, owner Fran Jack Properties LLC, case number BE 24040210. Notice posted at the property on 7/24/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard 9524.
Building Inspector Martinez for Alejandro Del Rio, presenting case BE 24040210, property located at 1441 Southwest 32nd Street. This case was opened on April 30, 2024. The final notice was mailed to the property owner on 6/18/2024. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on 7/23/2024. The property was cited for the following violations. 9-259. Buildings or structures that, in the opinion of the building official, are unsafe or which have been substantially damaged or otherwise shall be deemed unsafe, shall be demolished or repaired to make it comply with the applicable codes. This vacant building is severely dilapidated and the interior exposed to the elements due to missing or broken windows and doors. There are areas of the roof that caved in and there are signs of fire damage in some areas of the building. The building in its present condition is found to be unfit for human occupation and it creates a serious hazard to the health and safety of the occupants or the public. The city is requesting that in the next 30 days, the owner apply for the demolition permit and commence the demolition of the structure. In the event the owner does not apply for permits and move forward with the demolition of the structure, the city will demolish the structure at owner's expense and may lien the property to recover said demolition cost per section 9-260C.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 2, property address 831 Northeast 5th Ave, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. 831 Northeast 5th Ave?
I thought I heard that one.
Okay. That's not the one I had to recall, right? Okay. Page 3, property address 1223 Southwest 31st Street, Senior Inspector Alessandro Borges, case number BE 24010053, owner Moore and Leo Tam. Notice posted at the property on 7/24/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard 9524.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to addition, including carport enclosures, windows, and doors. This case was opened on January 10, 2024. Inspection report mailed to the property owner January 11, 2024. Final notice mailed February 20, 2024. The owner has been in communication. It's cooperating. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 119 days to come into compliance to finalize the permit process.
or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 6 at the top. Property address 3160 Northwest 66th Street, case number BE 2401-0151. Owner, Maria A. and MJ Macaluso Fam Revocable Livable Trust. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/24. Posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 9524.
Good morning, Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. presenting on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. This case was generated as a complaint to community enhancement on January 23rd, 2024. An initial inspection was scheduled for me on January 30th, 2024. I visited the property and the following violation was found. Section 9-1D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of, but not limited to, asphalt driveway and swale resurface. An inspection report was sent out on January 30th, 2024. Reinspection on March 4th, 2024 showed that there was a permit application, permit number BLD-GEN-2409-02, 0343. That permit remains awaiting client reply. It was scheduled for a special magistrate hearing on July 8, 2024 and posted on July 25th, 2024. Reinspection on 9/18/2024 shows that a new permit has been applied for BLD-GEN-2409-0334 is under the plan set submitted. So it seems like they haven't been able to get corrections on the first permit, and it looks like they applied for a second permit. I spoke to the son of the owner. He came. He wasn't allowed to speak today. He says that they got a new contractor and they're going through the process. So he agreed, and the city's requesting 42 days or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At the bottom, at page 6, Inspector Preston Mark, property address 180 Isle of Venice Drive 210, owner John Carp, case number BE 2401-0031. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 9524.
Preston Mark Billen, Inspector for the City. Presenting case and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property, as stated in today's agenda. I have been in contact with the owner. He indicated that he has hired a new contractor and is in the process of getting the permits reissued. Hopefully, he will have those shortly. The city is requesting 42 days to comply or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
At the bottom of page 6, property address 825 Southwest 26th Street, owner David Wayne Bange, case number BE 2312-0074. Notice posted at the property on 7/24/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 9524.
Preston Mark Billen, Inspector for the City, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation 105.1 Florida Building Code 2020, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: the complete renovation of a single-family home, including windows, doors, AC change-out, electrical panel change, water heater change, and also the 2 bathrooms and kitchen has been remodeled. The case was opened 12/11/23. Inspection report mailed 12/11/23. Final notice 2/26/24. And special magistrate notice mailed 6/18/24. During my investigation of this property, I observed workers at this location. When I requested permits, none was available. I thereafter met with the owner, David Bange of Bange Roofing. He indicated that he was in the process of remodeling this home for one of his employees, which included the remodel of the kitchen, bathroom, etc., as noted above. As a result, we issued a stop work order and posted it on the property. I
have since made several attempts to reach Mr. Baines. However, he has not responded to any of my attempts to call him. Our records show that there are two permits applications in process, which included the mechanical permit and the building interior remodel permit. However, they are not yet issued. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered. Our next case is on page 7. Property address 1800 Northwest 7th Ave, case number BE 2403-0146. Owner Jeanette Wills. Notice posted at the property on 7/30/24. Posted at 1 East Route Boulevard 9524.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation FBC 2023 105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: the installation of a new PVC fence, the installation of new windows and doors, and also new stucco work around the windows. Our records show that there are no permits for this work. Case was opened 3/25/24. Inspection report mailed 2/24. File notice mailed 5/1/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 7/15/24. I visited this property assisted by Inspector Gabia to investigate the complaint of work being done without permits. We attempted to access the property, but no one was available. I left a courtesy notice at the door, and thereafter made several attempts to contact the owner by visiting the property again. We did not observe any workers at the property, but did see that there was new work being done, including the windows, stucco work, and a new fence installed. Our records show no permits were ever pulled for this work. Recently, I spoke with the owner, Jeanette Wills, who indicated that she's in the process, she just learned of the violation and in the process of getting a contractor to assist her with resolving the violations. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 91 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered. Street, G-5, case number BE 2403-0005, owner Residential Credit Upward Trust, Wilmington Savings Fund trustee. Notice posted at the property on 7/26/24, posted at 1 East Route Boulevard, 9524.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023 105.1. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: the installation of flooring and also kitchen and bath renovation. The case was opened 3/1/24. Inspection report mailed 3/4/24. Final notice mailed 5/1/24. And the special magistrate notice mailed 7/15/24. I visited this property to investigate a complaint for work being done without permits. I met with the property manager, who was unable to grant me access to the condo unit. On 3/1/24, I met with Robert Cardona, the contractor for this property, with whom I discussed the complaint and inspected the unit. During my meeting with him and my inspection, I observed that there are new floor tiles installed at this unit, and also the kitchen cabinets and vanities were recently changed. Robert indicated that the new owner, Wilmington Savings Bank, will be renovating this property or this unit to be resold. He was not sure when he would be able to obtain the required permits, as he's waiting for response from the new owners. A few weeks later, I received a call from Melissa, an associate of Robert, who indicated that they are no longer involved with this project, and as a result, I have not been able to contact anyone associated with this property. Our records show that at this point in time, permit number BLD RLT 231-20042 for interior remodel and with flooring was submitted on 3/20/24 and is still in process of waiting client reply. We have made several attempts to contact the owner to assist in getting this permits issued, but our efforts have been to no avail. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 28 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 8. Property Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 511 Southwest 31st Ave. Owner Clara B. and J. Roscoe. Case number BE 24050066. Notice posted at the property on 7/24/24. Posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9524.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to new PVC fence and gate construction. This case was opened on 5/13/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 6/18/2024, and special magistrate notice on 7/22/24. As I drove past the property on 5/13/2024, I observed 2 piles of old wood fence that was removed and stacked in the swale. I then observed the property construction of a new PVC fence on the south side of the property with a gate. There were poles in the ground and front sections piled up on the ground. There was no work being done at the time I was there. I checked the records and there's no permit issued or applied for. A permit has been applied, but it has not yet been issued for this case. City is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to comply or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 615 Southwest 16th Street. Case number BE 24050032. Owner Michael Costanzo Jr., Serena Mercado Costanzo. Notice posted at the property on 7/24/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9524.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to interior, exterior demolition, extension, and an extension on the back of the house. This case was opened up on 5/7/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 5/7/2024. Final notice was mailed on 6/11/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 7/15/2024. As I arrived at the property on 5/7/2024, I noticed that the front yard has construction debris scattered about. Piles of construction debris on the side and in the back of the house. There has been interior demolition and exterior demolition. A part of the back of the house has no roof and is formed for concrete. There is also a footing dug out for an extension which has been formed for concrete. I checked records and there are no permits issued for any of this work. Permits have been applied for in this case but not yet issued. City is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 9, property address 828 Southeast 12th Street. Owner Ann M. Bellamy, case number BE 24030190. Notice posted at the property on 7/11/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9524.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits. in the following manner but not limited to wood fence installation and repairs. This case was opened on 4/17/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 4/17/2024. Final notice was mailed on 5/20/2024, and special magistrate notice on 6/26/2024. There were wood fence repairs done and sections of wood fence installed on the east side of the property without obtaining a permit. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 10, property address 1203 North Andrews Ave, case number BE 24050092, owner Empire Property Pros LLC, Daniel and Barbara Gallo F. Contreras. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard on 9/5/24.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation on the FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits, in the following manner but not limited to wood fence and gate construction. This case was opened on 5/16/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 5/16/2024. Final notice was mailed on 6/18/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 7/19/2024. As I arrived at the property on 5/16/2024, I observed a new horizontal wood fence built on the west and east side of the property. I checked records and found this fence was built without obtaining a permit. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 11, property address 1605 Northwest 11th Court, owner EC 2013 Investments Inc., case number BE 231-00150. Notice posted at the property on 8/23/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits, in the following manner but not limited to front door replacement and AC unit changed out. This case was opened on 4/30/24. The inspection report was mailed on 4/30/2024. The final notice was mailed on 6/3/2024, and the special magistrate notice was mailed on 7/8/2024. I arrived at the property on 4/30/2024. I observed a new front door installed. Then I walked to the side of the house and observed a new AC unit installed. I checked records. There were no permits filed for each new door installation and AC unit changeout. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1725 Northeast 49th Street, owner Sutton Terrace Corporation, case number BE 24040188. Notice posted at the property on 7/29/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 9/5/24.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits, in the following manner but not limited to drinking fountain installation. This case was opened on 4/26/24. The inspection report was mailed on 4/26/24. Final notice was mailed on 6/3/24 and the special magistrate notice on 7/8/2024. I arrived at the condo complex on 4/26/24. I observed the drinking water fountain installation in the pool area. This drinking fountain installed is not meant for outdoor use. I asked the property manager to unplug it until we can confirm it can be used outside by the manufacturer's specs and it can be permitted properly. The city is requesting that the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Jeez. Moving on to page 12, property address 646 Flamingo Drive, owner 646 Flamingo Drive Holdings LLC, case number BE 231-10148. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 5/30/24. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,050.
So ordered.
Property address 1055 North Federal Highway, owner 1055 North Federal LLC, case number BE 24020206. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,800, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 1320 Southwest 26th Street, case number BE 24030015, owner Marina Mile ALF LLC. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,800, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 13, the citation at the bottom. Property address 618 Northeast 3rd Ave, case number BE 24050033, owner Midtown Pal Flagler Village LLC. This property was cited on 5/7/24 to comply by 5/21/24. One section complied at $250. Total accrued fines $9,250. Appeal deadline 5/22/24. No appeal received. City is requesting to impose fines of $500.
So ordered.
Page 14, property address 807 Southwest 14th Court, owner Lincoln Sports and Entertainment LLC, case number BE 24010128. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,800, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 1610 Southwest 24th Ave, case number BE 24010007, owner Mithal Rene Pierre Pitot. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section complied at $50. Total accrued fines $3,000. City is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $808.31.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 15, property address 1237 Northeast 14th Ave, case number BE 23070302, owner Valentina Levent Akil. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/25/24. One section complied at $50. Total accrued fine $1,700. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,176.31.
So ordered.
Property address 1521 Northwest 6th Ave, case number BE 23060086, owner Jorge Olmo. This case was first heard on 10/19/23 to comply by 11/30/23. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines $13,900. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,182.55.
So ordered.
Property address 2008 Southwest 15th Ave, owner Yvette Lopez, case number BE 2312000210. This case was first heard on 6/20/24 to comply by 8/1/24. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 16. At the bottom, property address 2680 Northwest 21st Court, owner Mabel J. McCoy, case number BE 24020077. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 6/20/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $1,000. Total fines $27,000. The city is requesting to vacate the final order of 4/18/24.
So ordered.
Page 17, property address 213 Royal Palm Drive, owner Maury Legacy Foundation, Inc., case number BE 22080305. This case was first heard on 6/15/23 to comply by 7/13/23. One section not complied at $50. Total accrued fines. The city is requesting to impose fines of $12,550, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 111 Southeast 19th Street, 1-7, owner 111 Principalities LLC, case number BE 21070362. This case was first heard on 12/16/21 to comply by 1/27/22. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines, $47,400. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Page 18. Is this the one we had to do, 301 Birch Road? No, okay. Property address 715 Northwest 14th Way. Owner, Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. Case number BE 23090239. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 5/30/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,100, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 19, property address 1001 Northwest 52nd Street, owner CES Property Division, case number BE 23070329. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $7,600, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 20, property address 1460 Southwest 24th Court, 1-4. Case number BE 23090105. Owner Pierre Paul Quanesi. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 5/30/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,100, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 21, property address 1545 Miami Road, case number BE 231-00004. Owner, Carpe Diem Trust, Ron Palomari, trustee. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines, $4,600. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Property address 1900 North Federal Highway, case number BE 23080126. Owner Robert Rickle Trust, JJJ Revocable Trust, in care of Edens and Avant. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fine, $6,200. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Property address 2419 East Commercial Boulevard. We did that one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay. No, I didn't have this across though. Property address 2715 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner Embassy Tower 2, Inc. Case number BE 23060195. This case was first heard on 8/17/23 to comply by 2/13/24.
Oh.
That's the one the respondent. Yeah.
Okay.
One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines, $18,200. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Property address 2817 East Oakland Park Boulevard. Owner ACS 2817 LLC. Case number BE 231-00017. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose fines to the full amount of $7,600, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 23, property address 3055 Harbor Drive. Owner, Harbor Ridge Place Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 23070155. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 3095 Northwest 62nd Street. Case number BE 2307-0071. Owner, RJ Petroleum Properties 3 LLC. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 24, property address 6405 North Federal Highway. Owner, North Broward Hospital District, Attention Real Estate. Case number BE 23070257. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines, $5,400. The city's request to reduce the administrative cost of $1,275.
So ordered.
Property address 6701 Northwest 12th Ave, case number BE 23070105. Owner, Gundo Holdings LLC. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 7/16/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 6783 Northwest 17th Ave, owner Arnold Sales Company, Inc., in care of Thompson Reuter Prop Tax Service. Case number BE 231-00027. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 7/4/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $7,600, which continues to accrue.
Okay.
Your Honor?
So ordered.
And at this time, we would like all the cases that are listed on page 26 to be entered into the record of as closed or withdrawn.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This concludes our September 19, 2024 special magistrate hearing for the Building Division. Thank you.
Across from the city's aquatic center will transform into a vibrant, pedestrian-friendly park with lush landscaping, where neighbors and visitors will enjoy an ocean observation deck, a central playground, accessible ramps and walkways with improved lighting, along with other community-friendly amenities.
I'm really proud to be part of a commission that values open space. It is so important that we create spaces where people can walk, recreate, and just enjoy our outdoors, which we're known for.